one puts themselves to the challenging task of trying to answer these questions. Why did the war end as it did? Why aren't we all living in a Nazi-dominated world today? It does well to carefully consider the personality and psychology of the man responsible for it all. Adolf Hitler's image as a murderous, bloodthirsty tyrant, which causes fear in the minds of many to this day, greatly distracts from the fact that this man was both a very flawed leader and a very flawed military commander. These truths would be exposed throughout the Second World War. Despite having served in the First World War in his youth, Hitler came to power with relatively little understanding of how to plan and carry out a nation's military objectives. He often proved unable to identify and concentrate on his greatest priorities in each battle, and would repeatedly fail to put the collective advice of his generals and other compatriots into effective action. Perhaps it was inevitable, given Hitler's meteoric rise to power and his position as Germany's savior, but he became marred with such qualities as heedlessness, egocentrism, and over-the-top ambition, all of which would ultimately prove fatal for him over the course of the war. To cite a key example, the Fuhrer never managed to successfully coordinate his desire for power and territory with that of his Italian counterpart, Benito Mussolini. Hence, while Italy could very well have become a powerful and contributing partner to the Nazi war effort, this fascist nation instead became a drain to Germany's resources and often offset their progress, most critically during their preparation for the invasion of Russia. And Hitler's inability to act decisively upon his general's instructions, and the subsequent inability to form effective battle plans, would repeatedly cost him in several crucial theaters of the conflict.
As we ventured through the clouds, past spots where former world record winds of 231 miles per hour had once been recorded, it wasn't long until we made it! We were at the summit! A nice break for hot chocolate inside the visitor center was well in order. However, we could not rest for long. It turned out that the last railway car downhill to base was sold out, and we would have been hard-pressed to make it back down on foot by the time it got dark. Instead, we opted to spend the night at a shelter on the other side of the mountain. But before long, we realized that that lodge, too, would be out of reach before sundown. So we surveyed the scene for a bit of flat land, hurriedly pitched our tents to the best spot we could find, and then crashed inside them, exhausted from the climb. That about sums up the night for us. Dark, loud, and windy. But the moment we climbed out of our tents around 6 a.m., in time to catch the sunrise, it was clear that it had all been worth it.
But when we were setting it up, like, dude, some balls went flying. It was find them all. Yeah.
We quickly made breakfast for ourselves, which for some meant boiling ice water in a portable stove for hot chocolate. After that, we had only one way to go. Up! We climbed our rocky way out of Tuckerman Ravine and back to the Summit Observatory for a few celebratory group photos.